Well, hello everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Chris and I am a part-time reseller on eBay. Being part-time means it's more of a hobby than a job, but it's a hobby that brings in money, so can't complain really. I've got a haul today, but it's not a charity shop haul, it's a car boot sale haul. And going by the change of scenery and the Christmas tree, you might be thinking, a car boot sale? In winter, they do exist. In fact, there's one that does run, I think, all year round near me called Howden Racecourse near Exeter. I'm just not a fan of it, so I don't go to that one. But this one was at a local school, and I had word of it from a friend of mine. I thought, you know what, the weather was nice enough, went along to it, and I was, again, pleasantly surprised by what I found. Now, I have been to one before, and I didn't do a video on that because I don't know why, I just didn't get around to it. But I've got a nice little haul of things here. Not a lot of clothing, which is probably a good thing because I find that a lot of my hauls, it's just very, very clothing heavy, which is fine. And it's what I prefer picking up and what I prefer selling. But I do think variety is good. And it's good to expand the portfolio to as many sort of genres as possible, if that makes sense. So, I do enjoy picking up clothing, but it's nice to expand, isn't it? It's nice to give a bit of variety, especially to everyone watching and to myself, so I'm not going stir crazy just ironing clothes all the time. So, that being said, I'll get straight into it. A couple of things I'm going to be keeping myself, but most of it is going to be for sale on eBay. A few things I've never picked up before, which is quite exciting because I've no idea how well they'll do. But there's nothing here that I'm thinking I probably shouldn't pick that up. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And finally, I've got the lighting sorted. So, the last few videos, the lighting has been terrible. I've been in the loft, I've been in the sort of kitchen area. It's been rough. So today, I've got my trusty ring light. It's just here, so hopefully you can actually see what I'm showing you without me being just shrouded in darkness. Because the low winter sun, however much I love it, isn't too good for videos. So, that's enough waffle. Let's get into it. So I think I spent, how much did I spend? It wasn't much more than £30, I don't think. I'll go through and sort of toss it up in my head. But I spent about 30. I think gross return, we're looking at about 170, something like that. So not too bad, but so I'll toss it up in the end, in my head, and we'll do a little tally at the end. So, a couple of things for me first. Now I sold some Columbia winter trousers recently, and when they sold, I thought, do you know what? I wouldn't mind keeping them. But let's be honest, southwest of England, it doesn't snow particularly often, so there's no real point me keeping insulated trousers for that in case it snows for one day and I happen to not be working. But I saw these on a chap's stall. They're basically just thicker, waterproof trousers. They're by a company called The Edge. I've never heard of. I think you can. I found the logo. There he is, The Edge. I think you can. I don't know if it's like a Go Outdoors in-house brand or something. But say not bad quality at all. I find that normally when you find waterproof trousers by like Carrymore or Regatta, they're really, really thin, more for like summer walking. But if you want a bit more insulation, they do seem to be a bit harder to find. These are good. These basically cost me, I think, pretty much a pound. So for a while, I'm having those for a pound. I could probably get about 15 quid for them if I wait long enough. But these are staying with me. Size medium. By some miracle, they fit just about. Nice length, nice condition. Should keep the rain out on winter walks. That's those. Another thing I kept is, this is cool. It's just a little pouch, a little tartan pouch, shoe shine. Just got a couple of polishing brushes in there and the cloth. So I could do with a couple more brushes. I thought, that's really cool. I only paid 50p for that. So happy with that one. Let's put that there. And let's turn the phone off, because my phone always goes off in the middle of videos. It's very rude. Last thing for me, I think, is this. To be fair, this is probably my favourite find of the car boot, but I'm going to show you now because it is this. So this is a vintage dinky mini. So it's pretty cool. Look, the doors open, the bonnet opens. This would have been from probably the early 1970s, sort of the cusp of the 60s, 70s. Sure, splendid condition. I don't want to use that word. Splendid condition. Very, very few paint chips. Both of the headlight sort of jewel encrusted bezel things are there. So doors are fine. Wheels and tyres are all there. Absolute beauty. I only paid 50p for that. Couldn't believe it. In fact, the same store that I got that little bag from, a little polishing pouch. So that is an absolute gem. I tell you, I could probably count on one hand the number of times I've found dinky in good condition at a car boot. And this is for me car booting going back 10, 15 years as to when I just collected cars. So really, really hard to find these, especially in good condition. If I was to sell it, maybe £20 plus postage, something like that. Pretty hard to find, but no, that'll stay with me for now. That's an absolute gem. I've got a red one of these as well, so it'll look really good next to it. Almost Italian job 3, but not quite. Yeah, really definitely my favourite find of the car boot that. So everything else is for sale. So, where should we begin? We'll begin with the only pair of shoes I picked up. There were other things, but nothing that really captured. Oh, do you know what? There was a pair of Hokers. There was a pair of Hokers there. I didn't get beat into them, but they were knackered. The soles were just, there was so little wear left. I thought, oh, so close but so far. And only wanted a couple of quid for them. I just think nobody's going to want to buy these. They're way too far gone. So, haven't popped my Hoka cherry just yet, but hopefully soon. Can you see my breath? I don't know how well it's going to pick up in the camera. Look at that. We haven't turned the heating on. Hence why I'm in a nice thick fleece. It doesn't feel that cold, but that might suggest otherwise, but it's fine. We'll deal with it. So yeah, anyway, the only pair of shoes I picked up, these pair of Nike Air 270s. They are a really small size. I think they're a 3.5. Yeah, UK 3.5. Wouldn't normally pick up a pair of shoes this small, but I did the check. The heels are fine. That picks it up. Nowhere to the toe area where somebody's foot's gone through. I found that with another pair. So I'll give them a good clean. They should come out fine. Probably no more than 15 quid plus postage. That's sort of the upper end of what people are prepared to pay for these things. Only paid £2.50 though, so yeah, should be fine. There's profit there. It just they might take a bit of a while to sell, but yeah, don't be put off too much with smaller sizes. Just make sure the condition is good. So that's those. This was the first thing I picked up. And actually, it was quite a slow start, to be honest. I did a couple of laps before I sort of picked anything up. There weren't any like standout items. I'm sure there were other resellers there, but it is a quieter car boot, so it was quite nice. Anyway, first thing I picked up were these motorcycle gloves. They are by Richer. I think that's how you pronounce it. Richer. Good motorcycle company. Motorcycle clothing company. I wouldn't rate it as highly as Alpine Stars or Denise or Furigan, but it's on the same vein as like RST. Goodness, what else is there? I've drawn a blank. Well, it's the same vein as RST. That sort of level of clothing. So these are a pair of they're leather and they are Kevlar waterproof gloves, size medium. Paid £3. We're in the right season for this. They're a bit small for me, even though I tried them on just to get the sale. Numerous tags at the bottom, good condition, £3 paid, hopefully £15 plus postage back on those. Hopefully won't take too long to sell, but we'll see. That was that. Now, the only thing I got from that, remember the little polishing kit? I got one more thing from that store, and to be fair, I probably could have picked up some more things just as a bit of a risk. But I've got so much stock, I just didn't want to overload myself. But I did also pick up this. Now, you're probably thinking, what on earth is that? It's a vintage Carrymore bicycle pannier. So Carrymore, obviously we know it's a sort of the Sports Direct outdoor brand, don't we? But Carrymore has got a really good history to it. Really good sort of, what would you say, pedigree? I know they supply military with boots, backpacks. So there's some really high-end Carrymore stuff that's worth looking out for. This is a vintage bicycle pannier. Unfortunately, they only had one, but I wasn't leaving it behind for 50p. If I had two, that would have been much better, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully, this can replace, if somebody else has one and it's broken, hopefully this can replace it. Hopefully 15 quid plus postage here. I know if you've got both, you can get about £35 plus postage. It's in good condition. The straps are fine. It's quite a strange strap system, but you sort of pull that out and the bag comes up. Straps on the back are fine. There aren't any rips to it. There are a couple of marks, a bit cobwebby, but nothing I'm worried about. But for 50p, I wasn't leaving that behind. Absolutely not. I'd say vintage Carrymore rucksacks can do really well, so keep an eye out for that. Don't dismiss Carrymore. I mean, the modern stuff's a bit, yeah, it's okay. The Reseller's not so good, but the older stuff can sell really well. So keep an eye out for vintage Carrymore. Right. Where should we go next? I'll go here. So, like I said earlier, picking things up I don't normally pick up. There's a lady that had a load of puzzles, like games, like kids' games. And then I saw this. I was like, oh, okay. It's an Airfix, modern Airfix. What's that? The Hawker Hurricane Mark 1. Comes with some accessories, except it doesn't. I didn't realise this. It only comes with the paint, so it's missing the brush and the glue, which is a bit of a bummer, but not the end of the world. I knew it wouldn't go for a huge amount, but because it's new and sealed, I thought it would be like a good stocking filler for Christmas. So I paid basically £2 for that. So I'm not expecting more than about £10 all in. But this sort of sweetened the deal of what I'm about to show you, so I sort of had to pick it up. But yeah, hopefully hopefully £10 all in. It ain't gonna go large letter, so I'll only be making a few quid on that. So should I have picked it up? Maybe not, but say it helped me buy what I'm about to show you next. So yeah, kind of a fail, but hopefully it'll be fine. But it meant I could get this at a better price. Now, I never pick up Lego. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you would never have seen me pick up Lego. Apart from my first video ever, and I wish I hadn't picked that Lego up because it didn't sell very, very well. This is a new and sealed Lego City waste truck, I guess. Hasn't been opened at all. The box is absolutely fine. Brand new condition. So there was other Lego there, Lego Friends, but the lady wanted a bit too much for it. And because it was open, is it all going to be there, you know? Is it all going to be there? And for the price she wanted, which I can't remember what it was, but it's quite a bit, I just thought, I didn't really profit there, I don't know. But this basically cost me £3. So I got this and the Airfix for a £5. This cost me £3. Hopefully £15 plus postage. Hopefully a nice quick sale. So I wouldn't normally pick up Lego, but this was too good to miss. Hopefully it sells quickly. So not really the profit I'm after. 3 to 15 is fine, but if I have to battle through stalls to get to the car boot, to get to Lego at a car boot, when I can make that on clothing, is there much point picking up Lego? There probably is. I'm probably just bemoaning my lack of Lego purchases, but no, I thought for £3 I can't leave that behind. Hopefully, Christmas coming up, that'll sell. Fly out. It'll fly out, but I'll probably jinx it, haven't I? Moving on. This was the last thing I picked up. And again, don't typically pick up larger box things. I tried board games back in the summer, right? I picked up some board games thinking, these might do alright. They haven't. They're still on my eBay shop. They're not expensive. They just aren't moving at all. So I'm not going to pick up board games ever. Because they're a pain to post. Because Royal Mail, they're too big for Royal Mail small parcel. So yeah, I'm not going to bother. And the profit margins are just terrible as well. So no, I'm not picking up board games. But this chap had this. I'm going to show you. So it's a vintage Etch-a-Sketch. Now, I didn't see this. You know, when you go past a stall, your mind's just focused on other things. You go back and you see somebody holding something. You think, oh, how did I miss that? Idiot! But then I sort of hovered because you never know when they're going to put it down. So this lady had it in her hand and she tried it out. And she's like, oh, it was not working. Then she put it back. And the guy put it back into the boot of his car. And I sort of skirted around a little bit. Came back and said, oh, did the lady buy the Etch-a-Sketch? He said, oh no, she said it was broken, so then she didn't want it. I said, okay, could I have a look at it? He's like, yeah, that's fine. So it's it says 1970 on here, but we'll say like, I don't know, early mid-70s. It is an Etch-a-Sketch. And it comes with the instructions, and it comes with these 3 overlays that sort of, wrong way around. Sort of goes on there and you can do stuff. Older ones has got a glass screen. I guess the more modern ones are plastic. But for some reason, and it is a bit dodgy, I'm going to give it a bit of a shake. It doesn't work brilliantly. So I can do things like, I can't really show you. Let me just give it a whirl. It's a bit, you've got to sort of twiddle the knobs quite a bit to make anything happen. So can you see my lines? Can you see my lines? Maybe not. But I say it is a little bit temperamental. It will be sold as sort of spares, repairs. I don't even know how you open it up. Can you even repair that? I'm sure somebody can, but I can't. So I'll probably sell it as sort of spares, repairs. I only paid £1. I only paid £1 for this. So I'm thinking, crikey, the box alone and the overlays and the instructions surely worth more than £1 plus the faulty unit. If it was in good condition, working, maybe like 25 quid. But it isn't. So maybe, I don't know, let's say 15 to 17 as a sort of estimate. But from £1, I'm not complaining. That's, yeah. I was not leaving that for £1. So that's that. And the last things, I think, are all from one store. So again, stuff I've never purchased before. Had to do a little bit of research on the side before I sort of made any deals. Because it's all kayaking stuff. So, yeah, 2 jackets and 3 spray decks. And this cost me £18 for all this. So, £18? No, sorry. Remember those trousers I showed you, the waterproof ones? They came as well. So all this was 17 quid. £3 each? Oh, I'm having a maths meltdown. Hang on, I've got 5 items. 17 quid. Let's call it £3.50 each. Just for the sake of argument. £3.50 each, okay? So, 2 jackets. Now these are by a company called Palm. Not Palm Angeles. It's a clothing brand. Palm. There's people walking past the window probably thinking, what on earth is he doing? Talking to himself. This is it. Basically, it's a waterproof like kayaking jacket, canoeing jacket. So it's quite a tight fit. This is a size large, and you've got this sort of rubberized collar that sort of, sticks to your collar, I guess, and then stops water going in. Makes sense, right? Now this one does have unfortunately has a bit of a rip. Can you pick it up? It's got a rip in the rubber there. So I don't know if that can be repaired or if that's a bit like game over. But again, £3.50. It's not the end of the world. I think it's being in the collar probably isn't as bad as it being sort of down the middle of the jacket, because you're less likely to get water in your face and you are down the bottom. I don't know. Anyway, £3.50 paid because of its condition, which is okay. So the rubber's just like perished a bit. See around the arm cuffs, it's just a bit. It's obviously been stored somewhere. It's just a little bit, dogged. But even so, even if I only get 15 quid for that one because of the condition, not the end of the world. Because I got another one, another Palm jacket, and this one is in much better condition. I think this one's more modern as well. Doesn't have the sort of rubber collar. It's more of a sort of material, like a sort of nylon material. It is a bit dirty. Probably needs a bit of a clean. That's okay, because this one, once I've cleaned it up, fluff and stuff. Should be like 30 quid, maybe 35 quid for that. Again, I love picking up like specialist clothing, or like just like stuff that's kind of niche to a certain sport, because usually it's higher in demand and commands a higher price. So this is, again, it's Palm. This one's even got a pocket on the front. This is the, what do they call it? The XP Extra Performance 2.5 layer waterproof and breathable. So it's basically Gore-Tex without the Gore-Tex badge. Say, pretty good condition. This one doesn't have any holes or anything. Like I said, I think it's more modern. Size large. It's got a hand wash it, that's not a problem at all. So yeah, super happy to find that. I say, hopefully 30, 35 quid. So that basically pays for the entire haul. Okay, minus fees, minus tax. So that pays for most of the haul that sells. Really happy with that. But then I also got these. We're thinking, how do you wear that? Well, you don't really wear it like this. It's a spray deck. So you sat in your kayak and you sort of loop this over the, you know, in a kayak where you sit, there's like a ridge. You sort of loop this over the ridge and it basically keeps the water out. Now, anecdote time. I used to be in the Scouts and did a lot of kayaking. I did some training in a pool in Gloucester in a kayak to learn how to, if you capsize, you can like stop yourself from capsizing or like roll out of it. And I almost drowned because I couldn't get my spray deck unhinged. Or unhinged, like I couldn't tug it off. And if the guy hadn't self-righted me, I might have drowned. So that was a near-death experience. So I didn't actually use spray decks anymore. I thought, you know what, solid, I'm just going to get wet. I'd rather be wet than dead. So anyway, slight tangent. So this is the sort of thing I use in the Scouts. This is by a company called a Yak. And they do the jackets. They do, I think they even do like oars and paddles and things. And like life jackets too. This is a Yak. They say it's waist size small. I don't really know what that means in like, I don't know, kayak talk. But it's in good condition. It's got a few like, a bit of bobbling. That's okay. So it's being used, but it's like not in bad condition. Hopefully £20 for that one. I think plus postage. I don't think it'll fold large letter. It's a small parcel, but it folds pretty small. Yeah, hopefully 20 quid for that one. I've got two more. This one, again, is by Palm, and Palm seems to be like a sort of prominent kayak like equipment manufacturer. This is called the Sport. Palm Sport. That picks it up. Thing. Spray deck. This is a. Oh, I'll just show the label because it might just give you some more information. There you go. R4 deck size. No idea what that is. There you go. That's how you put it on. So you've got the, you know, your ridge and where you sit, and you fold over that, and there you go. It keeps the water out. And I guess this bit you wear that, and then it stops you getting wet. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Hopefully, £25 on that one. Palm seems to be a bit more sort of premium than Yak, so you know I'm learning. So there's that one, and finally, this is probably my favourite of the lot. This is cool. Again, it's another spray deck. Look at that. That's sort of like checkered pattern. This is by a company called Nookie. Nookie reminds me of that Limp Bizkit song, Nookie. This one I can find less about. I don't know. There seems to be very few sold on eBay. Again, that's the label. There you go, after that. Made in the UK. So they are quite a specialist thing. Say it's, kayaking's done by so many people, but this is more sort of serious than just sort of bobbing about in a lake, isn't it? This is like going kayaking on the sea when it's rough and, you know, taking on waves and losing, that sort of thing. So, yeah, specialist equipment hopefully means a higher price. Hopefully. So again, hopefully £25 plus postage on that one. Maybe a bit more. I'll do a bit more research. And that is that. So, say not a massive haul, but it is November, so there wasn't a huge amount there compared to last time. But it's some nice stuff. A nice stuff that I wouldn't normally pick up. But hopefully I'll learn something from this. Certainly the sort of kayak stuff. I know what to look out for in the future. I can't say I've ever seen kayak stuff in a charity shop, you know? It's not the sort of thing they'd have. I've certainly never noticed it. And even at car boot sales, I don't think I've ever noticed spray decks or anything. But now, in the future, if I do, I'll know what sells and what maybe doesn't, depending on how this stuff does. And I think I'll leave it there, 25 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. And this will definitely be the last car boot haul of the year. I haven't got any more like previous hauls I haven't shown. Well, I have, but I've sold things, I've put things away. It's just not worth it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing because there'll be more of these videos coming out very shortly. And yeah, if you want to drop a comment about how your car boot season has been. Have you been to any winter car boots? Do they even have winter car boots where you are? Because I know a lot of places only have fields, and very, very, very few places have indoor car boots. If you do have an indoor car boot, you are extremely lucky. And I think I'll leave it there. So thank you so much once again, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.